Warning, Prospect Watch is not your average hockey podcast, and that's okay with us. Our goal is to introduce you to stars in the making from all over the world. They may not be household names yet, but we assure you they will be soon enough. Welcome to Prospect Watch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of Prospect Watch with your host, Lance Green.
All right. Hello and welcome to Prospect Watch, a podcast that focuses solely on the discovery and promotion of some of the best young talent in the game today from all reaches of the world. I'm your host, Lance Green, and of course, as you already heard, Steel is my co-host. Steel, how you doing?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, brother. We got an extra special guest sitting within us today, and I'm doing fantabulous.
Yeah. This week, we're lucky enough to get the chance to sit down with the BCHL's Brooks Bandits, Logan Sawyer. Logan, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me out here.
No, the pleasure's all ours, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Thanks
All
for
right.
taking the time out of your busy schedule
Yeah.
especially with what's going on and everything on your day off. So we really appreciate you taking some time out to talk to us, man.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Okay, guys. So, getting familiar now. If you guys don't know too much about Logan or his game, I'm here to tell you, catch you
Shame
guys
on
up a
you.
little bit. All right. He is a 2024 NHL Draft Eligible prospect who is 17 years old. He plays the left wing, and he currently stands at about 6'1" and 174 pounds. That might change a little bit as we gain on in the season, but
Maybe as we're continuing talking here, it might happen a little
right. Trying to eat some chicken pasta, something like that.
bit.
In this, just his first year with the Bandits, Logan has been able to produce at a rate of 1.5 points per game in the AJHL competition this year, scoring 26 goals and 33 assists for 59 points in only 39 games played, guys. That is
Wow.
pretty impressive.
Wow.
All right. But better still, the organization recently decided to join the BCHL midseason,
Congratulations.
right? Yeah,
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank
which
you.
which overall most would consider to be a little bit tougher competition. Now, Logan has been able to keep up his over a point per game pace by netting 6 goals and 8 assists for 14 points in only 12 games played in that
Boom.
league thus far. So kudos to you, Logan, for sure, for being able to make that transition and keep up the point production. Um, and it's because of these numbers that Sawyer may just end up, Steele, the highest player drafted from the Bandits since that familiar name of Cal McCarr. All right. I don't want to put too much on Logan now because, as we know, and as our fans know, we have some pretty good Bandits players of the past that have joined us. But I don't know. We'll see where he ends up in the draft rankings and what sweater
Oh,
he
man,
possibly
I'll
gets
tell
able
you
to put on
what.
there. But Steele,
Mm,
you got some questions for this young man?
let's get it started right off, okay? And Logan, very much thank you for hopping on here and joining us. And we're going to start off with a real nice, simple question for you. Can you describe to our fans just the type of player that you would consider yourself to be?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely an offensive player. I use my hockey skill and my hockey sense to create create a lot of offensive chances, and yeah, I would say I'm around 6'2" now. I know the stats 6'1",
See, look, he's grown
There you
already.
go. See, yeah.
but so yeah, I try to use my height and my weight and everything, and try to create offensive chances. And I've been practicing a lot and working a lot on my defensive side of the game to try to help out my 200-foot game. So yeah, I think I'm more offensively, but I'm able to play some defense too.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate from what I see, Steele.
Yeah,
And,
I'd agree with that.
yep. And I got to think that NHL scouts are going to like the fact that, this young man is working on his defensive side of the game already. Most players that are, entering into their draft years may have all the talent offensively in the world, but sometimes they're lacking that defensive ability. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
I'm pretty sure that coach of yours is pretty pushing that defensive side of the game as well,
Yeah.
to be more of a complete player. So it's only going to help you out in the long run for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard you're kind of a fan of certain Austin Matthews, maybe. I think he's kind of a good player. Uh, you know, uh, but is that maybe a player that you maybe modeled your game after, or if not, maybe is there somebody else out there that maybe you would do so?
Yeah. I wouldn't say model my game after because I think we are a little bit different type of players, but he's definitely my favorite player and the player that I like to watch the most. I love watching how he creates his offense, creates space, and the things that he does to get into certain areas. And I watch what he does and I try to mimic that into my own game. And if it works in the NHL against the best players in the world, then I think if I'm able to do it, then I'll work in the BCHL as well. So yeah, it's definitely Austin Matthews is someone that I for sure look up to, and I try to do some of the things that he does out there.
All right.
Yeah.
That's not a bad path to go after. You know what I mean? That's not a bad path to go after, right?
Sorry.
So then let me ask you then, do you got the same curve that he does on his stick? Are you running that same curve, or what are you doing?
Yeah,
How's your equipment?
he uses the P28. I'm pretty sure, or at least that's what I'm using right now. I used to use the P29, but I switched probably 2-3 years ago, and I kind of just stuck with the P28. That's something that I'm used to now, and just
It
I just
seems to
like
be working. It seems to be
yeah.
Yeah,
working.
yeah. Please don't change because that's
Right.
working real nice.
Nice. So, okay. Um, Earlier in this season, it seemed like every time I turned around, you were being named the AJHL's Rookie of the Week. Um, is that something that, you just over time maybe started to count by the weeks you maybe missed that honor because it seemed to happen so frequently? Um, did it become a sort of a goal at some point to meet that every week and achieve that?
I wouldn't say a goal. I'd say in my own head, I believe if I played my best hockey that week, then I think I was one of the best players and definitely the best rookie that week. So yeah, I wasn't like searching for a rookie of the week every single week, but I was definitely knew in the back of my head that if I had a good week, then I was going to be able to get that award.
Okay. Well, it's something that seemed to transition, I think, over to the BCHL as well, because I think you were just named Alberta's Division Player of the Week as well, with 2 goals and well, I'm sorry, in 2 games you scored 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points recently. So it seems to be transitioning and following you in that aspect over to the BCHL. So kudos
Yeah.
to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's great to hear how you have gone through um, things to where you are right now. So, who would you say is the biggest influence on your life, as far as where you are like right now, and maybe who might be your role model or somebody like that? Can you talk
Yeah,
about that a little bit?
yeah, for sure. I think my dad. Both my parents are super supportive, but my dad played junior hockey growing up, and he
Oh, there you
obviously
go.
yeah he started me in hockey and everything. I mean, obviously I love hockey now, so it's not the only reason why I'm playing, but yeah, I definitely look up to him. How he goes about his day, how he lives his life, kind of how hard he works, and how uh, how he's always super positive. I think I try to put that into how I live. I try to be as positive as I can be because obviously you're only living once, so why be sad and negative all the time? Just try to be happy and positive, and
See,
that,
there you go.
that's how he lives. So I just try to take that from him, and I think it's helped me a lot throughout my life.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'd have to agree. Every day is a new day, a new opportunity, a new chance. Why
Yeah,
not continue to have that attitude throughout the whole rest of your life?
Yeah, and I think that's going to transition well into your hockey playing as well, because I mean, if you dwell on, a bad game or whatever like that, it's going to transition over to the following game, and you know, you gotta have a short memory when it comes to those bad games, or missed opportunities or whatever like that, so that you can get right back on the horse and put a couple goals in the next game. All right.
Yeah.
Um, so with this transition that we talked about to the BCHL, have you gotten used to kind of playing in that league yet, and kind of go over the differences between the two leagues that, if any, that you've noticed?
Well, yeah, obviously we can all wear visors now, which is, I guess, is like the noticeable change from the AJHL to the BCHL. But yeah, I mean, personally, in my eyes, I think the top five best, or sorry, six best AJHL teams went to the BCHL, and those are the teams that we're playing. So every single night we're going into a game knowing that it's going to give us a good game, and it's just you got to go in mentally prepared, way more mentally prepared, knowing that every single game, every week is going to be a super hard game. So yeah, I was definitely at the start. It was definitely a little hard to adjust to that, but I think I've adjusted, and our weeks throughout the week, because we only play on weekends now because of the BCHL schedule. So our weeks throughout the week are very hard, and it's really it really helps you at the game for the games on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty much.
Wow, that's awesome. Let's talk about that a little bit, Logan. With in reference to Coach Pap, what has he done to kind of brought you along to kind of get you to where you guys are, or to you know what I mean? How has he influenced you? That's this now being your first year. I mean, now that you guys are only playing on the weekends, what I mean, do you have more time to go for practice and workouts and video, and stuff like that? Talk to me about Coach Pap.
Yeah, he's the best coach I've ever had. He's taught me so many things. Like, and I would not be where I'm at right now without him. He's all of our coaches actually. Makes and Jonesy, they're awesome as well. But yeah, Pap is so good. He knows everyone. He knows everything. So just listen to him. He'll get you better. So just have to listen to him. But yeah, with our schedule now, we'll have three hard practices and three hard workouts, and then we'll like for Monday to Wednesday will be like some hard workouts and practices, and then Thursday, Friday we'll be kind of getting up to the games, and then obviously games on the weekend. But yeah, it's definitely given us a lot more time for some pretty bagger practices and some tired. I
so,
know in the long run it will definitely help us all out.
so you're saying Coach is beating on you a little bit, huh?
yeah, pretty much. He loves it.
Getting you ready.
Getting you ready.
All right. Can you name maybe one player on your team, and also one player that maybe you line up against on one of the other teams that every time you step on the ice with them, you got to be up on your skates. You got to be ready, because they are that good of a player that you want to be, on par with them.
Yeah. For our team, I think Mirko Buttazzoni. He's just incredible. He's just, I don't know. I've never seen a hockey player like him. He's not the fastest, but he's just controls the play of the game and just does some crazy things with the pucks, and just never seems to lose it. He's kind of got the puck in a string, so it's pretty fun whenever I get out to play with him. I think we work really good together, and whenever we're out there, we're usually scoring or getting a couple chances to score. And a player that I always like, I hate going against is probably Sam Huck. He plays for the Okotoks Oilers. He is the fastest hockey player I've ever seen in my life. He's just so slippery, and he's just a hardworking guy. He's always on the puck, super skilled and everything. And I actually got the chance to play with him for World Junior A. And it was just awesome. And I think he's a really good player as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's always fun when you get to play against or play with a nemesis. You know what I mean? Like, because you kind of get a little bit more insight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we've heard a lot about your game. We've heard a lot of things about what you've talked about your game. can you tell us maybe what would be a strength of your game and maybe what would be a weakness of your game that you need to work on?
Yeah, I think my biggest strength is just my hockey IQ, my vision, I'm able to see plays that I think guys see or kind of make plays that other guys aren't able to make, and at top speeds, which is I think the main reason why I'm able to create so much offense and have so much success when I'm playing. And I think something that I've been working on, and it's just always moving my feet, continuing, always skating hard, back checking, forechecking, neutral zone, never like slowing down and trying to continue just skating the whole time. And when I'm skating, I think is when I'm playing my best hockey.
Cool.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So let's talk a little about your decision to agree to play for Providence. I believe you committed to them. Maybe
Yeah.
not for next season, but 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Away. What influenced you? Did you take a tour and fall in love? Like, talk about that decision to play with them.
Yeah. Well, so I'm originally from Toronto. Actually, it's called Orangeville. It's like an hour north of Toronto. So I grew up playing hockey in Toronto, and for my draft year for the OHL, there's a tournament called the OHL Cup, which is a pretty big tournament. Best teams, best players, all that. Anyways, so at that tournament, they actually got into contact with me. Actually, after the OHL draft, they got into contact with me, and I don't know. I just thought it was a pretty cool spot and went down a tour. And as soon as I got there, I just had a feeling. And I think other people know that feeling when they know it's kind of like home. So I kind of just fell in love with it. And yeah, there's nowhere else that I would want to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot.
It's a nice area up in there too. You know what I mean? It's a really beautiful area. So I mean, there's a lot of cool history that's not too far away from there either. You know what I mean? So you should really like that area.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, all right. I used to be a chef, Logan, many years ago.
Really?
Yeah. And so I ask this of every single one of our guests that we've had on the show, and I have to ask, what's your favorite pregame meal? Do you have one? Right? Or if it's not a pregame meal, like what's your go-to? You know what I mean? So tell me about what that is.
Yeah, so I live with Luke Marshall, number 4 on my team, obviously. And we have the best billets in the world. They're just the best. And they're awesome. Anyways, so Terry Lee, she makes us chicken and rice every single game day. That's what we eat. I just put some barbecue sauce on it, and yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's awesome. Even on road games, she'll make it up and put it in like a carry on to go onto the bus.
On the bus, yeah.
Awesome. She's the best.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So is that like your favorite? Like that's your
your
go-to, the chicken and rice with barbecue sauce? Yeah, all right, I'm down.
Pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid. I like mine with gravy, but like a chicken gravy or something on it. But
either way.
Yeah, either way. All right. So do you have any thoughts on potentially being drafted this summer? And it is something you're even entertaining right now, or are you just so focused on the season and trying to finish strong in that sense that that time will come and that whatever occurs after the season?
Yeah, definitely. You try to stay focused, but it's pretty hard when it's your dream and goal for your entire life, and these NHL teams you've been watching with your favorite players on, or your favorite team are reaching out to you. So it's pretty cool when you're able to talk to them. But yeah, you got to focus in, try not to think about that stuff, try not to check like the lists and the rankings and stuff like that, and just focus on your game, and you'll shine. And if you're good enough, then obviously, yeah, you're gonna get drafted. So and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be in the talk to being drafted this year, obviously, because I can say for myself and probably every other kid that's ever played hockey that their dream was to get drafted and play in the NHL. So it's kind of cool to live out that dream to hopefully get drafted this year.
Okay, well that's good. I don't want to hear any teams' names or anything like that. I don't want to play anything. But you did mention that at least you're starting to get calls and everything like that from potential teams and all that. So that's definitely exciting. You know that teams are at least watching and
Yeah.
paying attention to your game. So
Yeah.
that's something to go out there and strive to be that much better for. That's exciting,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. It's pretty cool getting calls and talking to them in person and everything. It's pretty cool.
Starting to get a little real, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can almost it's starting to, you can almost taste it. Do you know what I mean? Right. And
yeah.
Leave it to the chef to bring up taste of, okay.
what can I
Right,
say? What can I say?
right.
What can I say?
Well, Steel, you got any other questions, or are we gonna let this young man go?
I do. I have
Okay.
one last question for you, Logan.
For sure.
What would you tell the next youngest guy coming up through? What kind of advice would you give? Like, say, if your younger brother was coming up through, or the next young group of guys that are going to be the rookies next year. You know what I mean? Like, what would you tell them?
Yeah. I think I just tell them just have fun. Just trust the process and just have fun doing it. Like junior hockey is once in a lifetime opportunity, and it's so much fun being a part of such a great organization and a great group of guys. And if you have fun, then you're just always going to be happy, and probably being happy is going to make you play a little bit better and be a little bit less nervous to play and stuff like that. So just have fun and obviously just work hard. I know it's kind of cliche, but you just always have to work hard. There's always someone out there that might be working harder than you, so just don't let that happen. And yeah, just keep working pretty much.
Awesome. That's awesome. Logan, I can't thank you enough for taking the time out to being here with us, man. We love talking to the Bandits. We've had some good conversations with some of the great players there, and I think it is um, uh, a compliment to that organization, the fact that you are there, that they brought you in. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and it's a really good top flight organization there at the Brooks Bandits. So,
Yeah.
big kudos and thank yous to Nathan. Hey,
Yeah.
man.
Always, yeah.
Mucho apreciado for getting this all set up, right? So we
Yeah.
really appreciate all that hard work and getting us in front of this young man right here who is very super talented, and trust me, would not surprise me one little bit to see your name on the board coming up here real soon here in June. So thank you very much, Logan, for being on the show with us, buddy.
Yeah. Just remember us when you do get drafted. We always love checking back in with you guys. Maybe once you get over to Providence or and anything like that, maybe we can touch back and see how your progression's going. And definitely good luck in the rest of this season, and potentially this summer. So thank you so much for joining us, and yeah, man, go get them.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the kind words you guys said to me earlier too as well. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on here.
For sure.